This year, at the age of 34, I've made the most money I ever have. But what if I could go back and give my 20-year-old self some advice on how to achieve success a lot faster? Here's what I would tell him. Lesson number 1, a degree is just an expensive trophy. Education doesn't equal opportunity. Your college degree is an overpriced piece of paper that signals you're good at following instructions, but you're not really creating value. Here's where I'm coming from. I spent years thinking my pharmacy degree made me special until I realized I was just a desk jockey, following instructions in a lab every single day. And the reality is, average performers collect credentials, put it in a wall, but top performers collect skills and results along the way. Once I quit my 9 to 5 to focus on my skill set, that's when I started to see progress. So what I want you to do is develop skills through real-world experience rather than just relying on your education. Because your success will be determined by the problems you solve and the value you create, not by the credentials on your wall. Skills create success. Lesson number 2 is being nice actually keeps you poor. When you lose money, you lose respect. Your need to be liked is costing you every single year. Because being overly nice in business, sales, or any other profession is like driving with the parking brake engaged. You have the powerful engine, you're pressing the gas pedal, you're doing everything right, but you're still moving at half speed. And that parking brake is your need for approval. That's what's holding you back. So what I'd love for you to do is identify where you're sacrificing your interests to be liked, practice saying no and creating distance and holding your ground. When you're willing to be uncomfortable in conversations, you create comfort in your life. Gain respect and you will gain control. Lesson number 3, the ultimate shortcut is consistency. Consistency beats talent. Everyone's looking for the hack, the silver bullet, the secret technique, but the real shortcut is shutting up, showing up every single day where everyone else gets distracted. I should know because I spent a fortune on sales courses looking for magic bullets, and then a sales rep would come in, they would just use the company's script and they would just crush it, creating a 6-figure pipeline instead of me jumping from strategy to strategy. So what I'd love for you to do is set non-negotiable goals that you do daily, whether that's a certain number of calls, conversations, or proposals, and hit them no matter what. Master consistency and you will master success. Lesson number 4 is that mindset matters more than method. Your belief will always beat your method. 2 people can have the exact same script but get wildly different results. The difference isn't in the words, it's in the belief behind those words. People don't just hear words, they hear conviction. So before making calls, take a breath or 2 and remind yourself, what value are you bringing to the table? Watch case studies, at least 3 before every single call that you make, to remind yourself what kind of transformations are you creating for people. When you truly believe you're putting together something valuable, objections aren't obstacles, they're just opportunities to get better. Fix your mindset and you will fix your results. Lesson number 5, systems beat willpower every single time. Routines will outperform motivation. Motivation is like a hot shower. It feels great in the moment, but it doesn't last. Systems are what carry you when motivation fails. And the truth is, top performers never rely on motivation. They build the scaffolding required to have a predictable system. I never felt like sending DMs. I never felt like jumping on a sales call. But once I built a system around these things, it became a daily routine, and that became my new identity. So create the routines, the scripts, the templates, and the follow-up sequences that you can execute even on your worst day, because systems ensure success. Lesson number 6 is success always leaves clues. Follow proven paths. Most people struggle for years trying to figure out their success on their own when others have already broke the chains that barred the road. The blueprint is in front of them. They just never reach out to grab it. Success is like walking through fresh snow. The top performers leave perfect footprints for you to follow, yet most people, maybe out of ego, insist on bushwhacking through the forest. They try to create their own path while ignoring the tail that's already been laid out. My invitation for you is, instead of reinventing the wheel, find someone who's been there, done that, and got the t-shirt. Study their process, ask them questions, observe their habits and their mentality, and try to model what they're doing. See how that works for you. Success isn't a mystery when you're willing to become a student of what works. So look to learn first, not to earn. Lesson number 7 is perfect your pitch, not your excuses. Excuses kill sales, and average salespeople have the perfect excuses why they didn't hit their targets. Top performers couldn't give two shits, and they are too busy perfecting their approach. I used to blame my territory, our pricing, our non-guarantee, the economy. But a sales rep would come out of nowhere, they would work the exact same leads, and they would hit bigger numbers than me. They closed impossible leads. So every time you catch yourself making an excuse, stop and ask, how could I improve my approach instead of bitching about it? Then put your time into practicing your pitch or learning something new. Focus on the obstacles and you'll see more obstacles. Focus on solutions and suddenly they will start appearing everywhere. Solutions are what create opportunity. Lesson number 8 is the money is in the follow-up. Persistence makes profit. I was shocked when I learned that 80% of sales happen after the 5th follow-up, yet most salespeople quit after the 2nd attempt. I know there are gurus out there that are preaching, hey, you should do such an amazing job during the sales call that you shouldn't have the need to follow up. I call bullshit. The reality is, if you're selling anything high ticket, especially over 5, 10,000, it will require in many cases for you to follow up. If someone tells you, hey, you should never follow up and you should always one call close, they just haven't sold that expensive stuff, or they haven't sold for more than one industry. That's the reality. So create a follow-up sequence for every prospect, customize it accordingly, and use different channels so you don't become spammy. Email, call, text, and social media. Don't stop unless you hear a clear yes or a no. The follow-up separates the amateurs from the professionals. Follow-ups create fortunes. Lesson number 9, earn trust before you earn commissions. Trust always comes before transactions. Nobody cares about your quota, your bills, or your commission checks. What they care about is their problems and their goals. You can't harvest before you plant. You need to prepare the soil, plant the seeds, nurture growth, and only then you can start to harvest. So when I shifted from what can I get from that person to how can I help that person, that's when I started closing more deals, because I was entering every conversation with the right mindset. So listen more than you speak and focus on understanding their viewpoint of the world before you're trying to change it. See where they're coming from. Trust is the currency of the business, and every interaction is either making a deposit or a withdrawal. Create trust so you can create more transactions. Lesson number 10, rejection is simply redirection. No means next. Every no is getting you closer to the person who desperately needs what you're offering. These no's aren't about you or your ego. They're slowly guiding you to the right buyer. So instead of taking rejection personally, just get curious. Ask yourself, what can you learn from it? Probe, clarify. Was it your timing, your tonality, your approach, or was it the wrong fit? Use data to improve. I'd love you to embrace rejection as the necessary path to yes, because rejection reveals the direction you should take. Lesson number 11, what you track grows. You master what you measure. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your goals, period. They're just dreams. So while I was flying blind for years, David in our office tracked everything: calls, conversion rates, time spent per stage, daily offers, and he could pinpoint exactly how much pipeline he had. When I started getting more obsessive about my metrics, I found literally hundreds of thousands I was leaving on the table. So what I want you to do is track your daily activities, your conversion rates at each stage, and average deal size on the front end. On the back end, I want you to track what's the number one objection that's causing you to lose out on sales right now. Put it down. Calculate. How many sales are you missing out right now because of that objection? Okay? If it's 10,000 and you're getting paid, what? 10% on every single sale, that's at least 1,000 every single week that you're missing out on. Times 4 for the month, that's at least 4,000. So probably you should start working at that. So when you start tracking everything, patterns will emerge and your results will improve. Numbers don't lie. Lesson number 12, comfort zones create income ceilings. Comfort kills commissions. Like the activities that make you uncomfortable today create the comfort you'll enjoy tomorrow. Growth doesn't come by just sitting back and taking calls or having more conversations. Growth in business is just like going to the gym. The burn and discomfort you feel today will create the strength of tomorrow. Just like muscles only grow when they're broken down, your skills and income only expand when they're tested, when you push beyond your comfort zone. Identify the activities you've been avoiding and running away from and commit to doing them daily. One uncomfortable thing daily until it becomes comfortable. So become a new person, craft a new identity, and watch your income follow. Lesson number 13, solve problems, don't sell products. Problems drive purchases. Nobody wakes up excited to buy your product. They wake up with problems they need solved. Most salespeople are product pitchers. Top performers are problem detectives. So before talking about your solution, dig deep into their challenges. 90% of the call should be you probing and asking strategic questions, and only 10% of the call should be you pitching. Your product is a commodity, while solutions are priceless. Become an abundant authority and you'll never have to struggle to close deals again. Solutions sell themselves. Lesson number 14, actions build identity. Habits form reality. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. So you can aim for all the goals that you want, but if you don't have the daily actions in place already, you'll never hit them. When I started acting as if I was already a top performer, my decisions naturally aligned with that identity. So ask yourself, what would a top sales professional do in this situation? Then do that, even when it's difficult. That's how you sharpen the identity. Act as the person you want to become until it's who you are. Actions become identities. Lesson number 15, objections are great. Don't fear failure. Every objection is an opportunity to understand what really matters to your prospect. I love it when I get objections because I know if I can crack the code of that objection, it will make me thousands, if not hundreds of thousands in the future. There are no new objections. So once you understand how you fix or overcome an objection, you'll have that key in your pocket forever. So top performers treat objections as a great thing, like they found literally what's holding the client back. So instead of you countering objections immediately, flying from the seat of your pants, first understand. Say, that makes sense, tell me more. Like, where's that coming from? Address it from a place of understanding instead of entering combat mode. When you embrace objections as part of the process, you actually shorten the sales cycle because it's objections that actually create opportunity. When a prospect gives you an objection, it's actually the first time that they're not lying to you. Lesson number 16, own your day and you'll own your results. The beginning guides the end. So how you start your day determines how you finish it. Your daily routine sets the stage for the week. And while I used to start days in reaction mode, checking emails and texts and maybe reels, the top performers all had routines to step into the right mindset. So my suggestion for you is create a ritual that prepares you mentally and physically for top performance. Now, this can be whatever floats your boat: visualization, affirmations, planning, physical movement before diving into reactive work. But find a routine that drives you forward. Own your morning and you will own your day. Own your day and you own your results. Own your results and you own your future. It's the actual routines that drive results. Lesson number 17, questions create connections. The quality of your questions determines the quality of your relationships, which determine how much money are you going to make. I used to launch into my presentation at the first opportunity. Then I realized the person I was talking to always shut down. When I started asking deeper questions that shifted perspectives, they began seeing me as a trusted advisor instead of just like another salesperson. So prepare at least 3 to 5 powerful questions for every single sales conversation that allows you to go beyond the surface level needs. Questions that provide dimension into the prospect's problems. When you ask questions no one else is asking, you'll hear things no one else is hearing. How amazing is that? Questions create insight. Lesson number 18, the best deals start with listening. listening. Listening creates leverage. Your prospect will tell you exactly how to sell to them if you're patient enough to truly listen. So take notes, ask clarifying questions, and repeat back what you heard before responding. Listen for emotions, not just the facts. Always remember, your ears will always make you more money than your mouth ever will. Lesson 19, value your time. If you don't respect your time, neither will your prospects or your clients. I used to take every single meeting, answer every single email and text quickly, and what does that communicate to people? That I don't value my time. I realized top performers create scarcity, and that's the difference between tap water and fine wine. When I started protecting my time and my calendar, prospects actually respected me more. So audit how you spend your time for 1 week, then eliminate, delegate, or automate everything that isn't producing results. Time is the only resource you can't get more of, so protect it at all costs. Lesson number 20, small habits create big breakthroughs. Consistent actions compound. The gap between where you are today and where you want to be is connected by tiny little actions. Success works just like compound interest. Small, consistent improvements create exponential results over time. Improving just like 1% every single day compounds to 37x over a year. So identify tiny habits you could improve by just 1%. Your greeting, your closing questions, your follow-up, your tonality, your timing. Then focus on that single improvement until it's automatic. These small daily choices that no one else sees are what create the results that everyone wants. Now, if you want to learn the top skill that the 1% in sales master to close more sales, watch this video right here and I'll see you there.